Hi everyone, here's Miss Adams and I'm making my first video in a long time. So let's see if we can get this done. Last week was an easy week, just trying to get you to think about how forces can make a little paper ball move and have a little bit of fun as well. We are going to look at some things that Sir Isaac Newton, who we studied before the break, discovered. And so let's go ahead and get moving. We're going to look at force and motion first, just to define those words. There are going to be things that you need to write into a notebook. So if you don't have paper and pencil or colors and pencils and paper or something, pause this video now. And I want you to go get either your science notebook or some paper, something that you can make sure that you save, because you never know when you're going to need those notes. So go ahead and pause and go get your material. All right, so let's go ahead and get moving. We're going to look at forces in motion, and the focus learning target that we're going to look at is that you're going to be able to explain what a force is and a motion and identify examples of both, okay? So here we go. At the top of the screen, you can see where it says write the vocabulary in your science notebook, or a notebook or a piece of paper or something that you can save for use in future assignments. So the vocabulary is, the first one is force. And force is a push or a pull on an object, causing it to move, stop, or change direction. And that's exactly what it is. When you throw a ball, you are actually exerting force on it because your hand is pushing it in a direction. Okay? When you pick a toy or a glass up off of a table, you are actually pulling it up off of that table. Okay? And then that comes to the word motion. Motion is when you're changing the location of an object from one place to another. So when you apply force to an object, you should be causing some type of motion as well. Even that brick wall, if you go and you push up against it, there is some force that you are applying onto it. And believe it or not, it does move just a tiny fraction, millimeter of motion in it. Now, obviously, the brick wall is a lot stronger than I am, so we'll start talking about things like that as well as we go through, okay? So, force is a push or pull of an object, causing it to move, stop, or change direction. And a motion is the changing the location of an object from one place to another. Now, to get a couple of minutes, go ahead and pause this video so that you can write your vocabulary into your notebook. Okay, so let's get started. This entire page will need to be written down in your notebooks, including the drawing. It all makes sense, trust me. So, what is a force? A force is a push or pull on an object, okay? Again, remember, it's the pulling of a car off the floor. It is a push of a ball as you throw it. When you kick a ball, when you do something like that, you are pushing that ball, all right? When you lift your foot, believe it or not, that is a pull motion. You are pulling your body up off of the floor, part of your body up off the floor. When a leaf falls to the ground, this is a pull motion because gravity is pulling on that leaf. All right, so that's technically what a force is. It is either a force that is pushing on you or pulling on an object. And that leads us to the thing is an object will stay at rest, meaning it won't move, until a force, push or pull, will set it in motion. So let's talk about what we have here at the bottom of the screen. We have a picture. Here's a beautiful picture, and it's a ball that's sitting at the top of a slide. Okay, and then you have 3 questions. You have a cause. What is happening in the picture? What's going on in the picture? And that's technically what I'm asking for you to do in this square when you see a picture. I'm asking you, what is it doing? What is the force that's going on? All right. So in the squares, right here, this is an explanation or the instructions of what you do in this type of square. You're going to explain what is happening in the picture. Okay. So when it comes to this ball on a slide, well, the ball is sitting at the top of a slide, right? So that's pretty much what's happening, is that the ball is at the top of a slide. Then that leads us to this next square. And this next square says push, pull, or both. Well, that's what I want to go in here, is I want you to tell me if it's a push, pull, or both, and give me a brief description of what it is. So tell me if the force is a push, pull, or both forces are being used. Tell me what's going on. Is it a push? Is it a pull? Is it both? Okay. And then in the last one, I want you to tell me what is happening. What's happening once that force is put into that object? Oh, I'm sorry. What's happening to this object when the force here is applied to it? Okay? Tell me what happens as a result of the push or pull. So these are the instructions of what you do in each one of these squares. Okay? So in this picture, if I was to push it like I should be, what's going to happen? Well, when I push it, the ball is going to roll to the ground, or it's going to roll down the slide. That's what happens when I did the push. And that's all that I'm looking for. Now, like I said, this whole slide needs to be copied into your notebook, including the drawing. So go ahead and pause this here and write these into your notes. Alrighty, now that you've taken your time and putting your notes into your notebook, let's go ahead and look at some examples. On the next 3 slides, we're going to be looking at a picture, and then we're going to have those 3 questions that we just discussed about how to answer them, okay? Now, you need to write one of these examples, drawing included, into your notebook or science notebook or on your piece of paper that you're taking notes on, okay? So in this one, I'm going to lead you through it so that you'll be able to do the next 2 on your own. So what is this picture of? Well, this is a picture of a boy on a skateboard, and it looks like he's trying to get moving, get started, right? Trying to get some motion going. So what is going on right here on the picture? What is going on? Tell me what the action is. Well, the action is the boy pressed against the ground with his foot. Isn't that what it takes to get this skateboard moving? You have to press your foot against the ground with his foot. So now let's move on to the next screen, the next square. Well, the next square says push, pull, or both. So what is it? Is it a push? Is it a pull? Or is it both? Well, it is a push. And that technically it's a push down on the ground, right? He's pushing his foot down on the ground. So that's what you would put in the center square. And then the last one, what is the effect of that push motion? Well, the skateboard and the boy will move forward. Okay, and that's the result of the push. So this is the way that you would answer these questions. What is going on? What is the force? And what is the effect from the force or the motion that happens? Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Remember, one of these three examples you're going to need to put into your notebook, including the picture. So here we go. Let's move on. Okay, so here's what I would do. Either this one or the next one you're going to have to put into your notebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the questions, and then I want you to pause the video and fill in the answers. All right. So push, pull, or both. What is happening in this picture? Well, children are playing tug of war. So I want you to tell me what is happening. Okay. What is the action going on? I want you to tell me what is the force, the push, pull, or both. And then I want you to tell me what will happen. What is the motion from that push or pull? So go ahead and pause this video. And then I want you to answer those three questions about this picture of kids playing tug of war. Go ahead and pause. Okay, welcome back. Did you answer your questions? I hope so. So let's take a look at the possible answers. The cause. What is happening? When kids are playing tug of war, what are they doing? What exactly are they doing? And the children are pulling the rope in opposite directions. Technically, that's what's happening, right? So the second question is push, pull, or both? Push, pull, or both? Which force is being applied? Well, the pull. Pull. The kids are pulling on the rope. That is what's happening. That is the force that is going on. So what is the effect or the motion that's going to happen when the kids pull on this rope? Well, the children who pull the rope hardest will pull the others towards them. That's what happens. You pull on the rope. Whoever is stronger, the other is going to pull their opponents towards them. So that's, if you got anywhere near these answers, good job. All right. So remember, this needs to have been completed. So if you want to write this into your notebook, please make sure that you write the entire thing, including in a drawing that you can make. Let's move on to the last example. So push, pull, or both. Well, this is kids playing on a seesaw. Again, I want to know what is going on. Okay. What are the kids doing? I want to know if it's a push-pull or both. And then I want you to tell me what will happen with this force being applied. All right. So go ahead and pause me and answer those three questions. And if you want to put it in your notebook, make sure that you put it into your notebook, including a drawing. So go ahead and push pause. All right, welcome back, and let's take a look at the possible answers. What's going on? What are the kids doing? Okay, well, the kids are pulling and pushing the seesaw. So ready? The pull is going to be gravity pulling them down, and the pushing is the pushing your legs up off the ground to get the end to go up. So the children are pulling and pushing the seesaw. Well, it is a pull because gravity is pulling down the children, and it is a push to go up in the air. So technically it's both. And then the effect, what is the motion that happens? Well, the seesaw will go up and down. Technically, that's what's happening. There's a seesaw is going up and down when you put both those forces into motion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are the 3 examples I gave you. Please make sure that you get them, one of them at least, into your notebook. If you didn't notice, we did a push, we did a pull, and we did both. So if you wanted to put all 3 of them in there just for extra measure, just to make sure you have everything and you understand everything, you could. All you have to do is pause and rewind, and you'll be able to get that done. So go ahead and pause, make sure that you have all your notes done, and then we'll move on to the last slide. Okay, welcome back, and let's move on to the last slide. So this is what you were supposed to have done during this video. Make sure you have written in your notebook the vocabulary words. Write down in your notebook at least one example from this presentation. Once you have all those 2 things done, I want you to go to Google Classroom for Science, and there's going to be an assignment that's called Forces in Motion Lesson 1, and it happens to be a Google form for you to fill out. And it has all these same questions for different pictures. So it's kind of practicing what we already did and making sure you understand what's the cause, what are they doing? Is it a push-pull or is it both? And what happens when that force is applied? Those 3 questions are still being answered. Please make sure you answer them in complete sentences. Please make sure that you have complete thoughts and you have, capital letters, punctuation, those types of things. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and I will be checking your assignments. Bye.